Okay, welcome everyone. Here it's Dale Hall, Managing Director of Research at the Society of Actuaries, and welcome to our SOA Virtual Research Open House webcast. I'm going to start by sharing my screen here, so you should be able to see this presentation come up. There we go. No, we're glad to be here. Glad to see, this good number of participants in this webcast to get a little bit more of an overview of our SOA Research Institute. And we're highlighting some key projects that we've been working on at the SOA, especially importantly, relevant to the Asia Pacific markets, where we're continuing to do an increasing amount of research. Just a little bit of housekeeping as we get into it here. I think you've joined in listen only mode. You have the ability to, type in some questions and answers along the way for sure. Use the question box that I think will show up on your little player device on your screen, and then you can hit send. We'll probably try to attend to most of those questions at the end of the presentations here, but if something pops up that we see, maybe we can address it along the way. You can send those questions in at any time. With our normal SOA webcast, we have some antitrust compliance guidelines that are appearing on the screen. We want to make sure we share information adhering to these antitrust guidelines, and our presentation disclaimer that presentations are intended for educational purposes and don't replace professional judgment. So let's get into it here. Again, I'm Dale Hall, Managing Director of Research at the SOA and at our Society of Actuaries Research Institute. I'm joined today by Xiao, who is our International Research Manager and coordinates a lot of our SOA Research Institute projects. She's based in Sydney, Australia, so is much more on time zone than we are here in Chicago, and really helpful to coordinate with our set of volunteers and our researchers and our project oversight groups, the projects that we have in flight, and help present those, especially when it comes to conferences or presentations in local Asia Pacific markets. So Xiao, thanks again for being part of our team, and I know we'll flip to you here shortly to cover one of those projects. I wanted to spend a few minutes just giving you a general overview of the SOA Research Institute. Hopefully you're somewhat familiar with the research that the SOA does, just as we are well invested at the SOA in providing great education for developing actuaries, great professional development for those of us who are members, and for our employers and stakeholders and beyond. We're really committed to being an incredibly strong research organization as well. And so our research institute has been operating and doing research for decades here at the SOA. And I'm going to share a little bit about kind of the background and some of the key things that we're doing, especially as they relate to the Asia Pacific markets. So when the SOA was formed, now over 75 years ago, clearly one of the main things that the organization had as part of its mission was to do great research. Early days, it was kind of doing a lot of experience studies in the North American markets, but as our membership, our candidates and membership have grown more globally, we certainly have a big focus on producing lots of different research projects that are covering all the markets where SOA members are, and trying to grow that really to be commensurate with the membership all around the world. And we've done a heavy lift in that in the Asia Pacific markets here recently. And as we grow members in other places in the Middle East and in North Africa, places like that would aspire to do the same. So really important for us to carry that flag and do unbiased, objective research that hopefully our members can use in their day-to-day work, or help be thought leaders for the actual profession in markets all around the world. One of the subsets of research that we do is we would call kind of practice research, and we have these six strategic research programs that are showing on your screen right now. Very active. They're driven by our staff, but then, key to all this is having our volunteers, our members participate with us on the steering committees that talk about what projects, might be valuable for the profession to have, brainstorm what types of gaps or knowledge might be needed to pursue, and then looking to either get that research done internally or working with an outside researcher to do that. The programs are on the right-hand side of the screen. I think if we closed our eyes and thought through what, SOA would always be doing research in, certainly things like mortality and longevity and aging and retirement and healthcare would come to mind quickly. But I'm also glad that we've got a growing set of programs too that are a little tended to be sort of on the leading edge of where actuarial profession is working and will be headed in the future. So our actuarial innovation and technology program, very, very forward and looking, years ago at things like predictive analytics, and now that's blossomed really well into more artificial intelligence research and how actuaries are using those tools and becoming really the stewards of good AI risk management. You'll note at the bottom too, a lot of focus on catastrophe and climate, general insurance and catastrophic risks and climate risks have been a growing part of where the actual profession is lending its services, and lots of good projects that relate to those topics. In fact, if you go to our website, this might be the homework assignment if you haven't been there. Go to SOA.org, click on the Research Institute, and you'll see this broad set of research by topic listing and shows the wide array of different projects that we've been doing and the different types of research that the Research Institute pursues. I'll note as well that we're getting more into experience studies globally as well. If you haven't checked out already our international longevity illustrator, there's a few markets where we're able to work with volunteers, come up with mortality tables, and use them to illustrate the probability of living to old ages and the kind of longevity risk that will be there. I would add to that, we've been very active as well, coordinating with local markets on experience studies that are, used in those local markets. So over the past 5 or 10 years, there's been a range of products ranging from working with the Chinese Actuarial Association on new life tables, with the Saudi Arabia pension mortality Social Security system, with the in the Caribbean, a set of pension scheme mortalities, and I think that's a place where we aspire to do more and more. Are there local market tables that you use, and how can we work with the local trade industry and the local actuarial organizations in the Asia Pacific markets just to continue to support more experience studies analysis? We also know that we can do a lot of this research work, but if we don't communicate it well, it kind of sits on the website and people don't hear about it. So hopefully, along the way, we're getting into your sight line with the ways that we're disseminating and communicating out our research. Certainly, the website is a strong asset, but doing more and more to kind of get in the sight line of where our members and stakeholders and really even the public would be hearing more about our research. So we do have a Research Insights podcast that we host, put about 3 or 4 episodes a month out where we interview researchers about current projects or we talk about key things that are going on in the actuarial profession. We have a research playlist on our YouTube channel. We do, I've been doing a lot more audio video capture with our projects to give it that type of flavor where you can digest it in a few minutes, and then if you need to go look deeper point you to the project on the website. Follow the SOA on social media is a really helpful thing to do. You'll see more and more there, whether that's on X or whether it's on the WeChat or Weibo apps that we use, or even on LinkedIn. That's becoming a pretty popular place for us to connect with members. So if you have the time and if you're on LinkedIn, follow me or follow the Society of Actuaries, and we certainly are pushing out a lot of information through that LinkedIn channel in recent times. I just wanted to highlight too, and we'll get a little bit deeper into some of these, just give an example of some of the range of current projects that we've been working on. We have several in flight right now. A couple here are listed on the screen. A project on studying chronic conditions in China, which focuses, as noted here, on different health analytics and population aging models to give a sense of what chronic condition incidence might be and how that could be used for insuring against those conditions in the future. And an important project that we've just started up in the last couple months on disaster financing in local market countries in Southeast Asia, especially. That's becoming a really important topic worldwide. What are the types of private insurance that might be offered to cover homes or properties or motor insurance risks? There's also this combination of each market might have a public program that when disasters get really intense, that the federal governments there will step in. Or you're seeing a lot of discussion of like, well, how should the private insurance and the public systems kind of work together on this disaster financing so that economies aren't just, dramatically ruined by, large disasters, that there's a way to recover from those types of things through insurance and protection. So if you go out to our international research section on the SOA website, you'll see a wide variety of projects. I'll note as well that, some recent releases that we'll hit on, and we'll actually go into deeper detail on a couple of these here in the next 45 minutes or so. One on which Xiao will be presenting on next is this AI impact on the insurance industries in Greater China. That those types of tools are being used increasingly more in a wide variety of insurance operations, not just underwriting, but more also in marketing and claim adjudication and fraud detection and things like that. So just important to kind of keep on the leading edge of what's going on there, and a great research project that we recently published that we'll dive into a little bit more here in a few minutes. We do have a set of Greater Asia retirement studies that we've been ramping up again. We did a set of these back in like 2018, 2019, pre-COVID. And now that we're post the COVID era here, I thought it'd be really important to kind of go back and do a compare and contrast, look at some different markets. So earlier this year, we released studies that focus on the Taiwan market and the Japan market. We're currently in the midst of fielding surveys for Vietnam and Thailand and expect those to be published either late summer or early this fall and presented at different conferences coming up. But I think those are also just the starting point. We'll probably go into other markets in Asia Pacific here in the coming years to, rekindle these Greater Asia retirement studies or retirement readiness reports. Just want to give a shout out to RGA as well in Asia, who was a partner with us on these previous reports on the Taiwan and Japan markets. And then, we're studying a little bit more on life and health insurance demand. You'll see that's on the right-hand side of the page. I'll be covering a little bit of that more in detail, kind of, and then on the left-hand side of this page, four other reports that were recently published across a different range of different topic areas: emerging risks, ESG for the insurance and pension industry in those markets, market readiness of long-term care products in Asia Pacific markets. So trying to cover a wider array of different actuarial practice areas through the projects that we're doing here. And I'll note that often these projects turn into professional development presentations, whether it's myself or Xiao or the authors of these projects. We have a big lineup coming up actually this fall of different areas, different markets where we'll be partnering with Actuarial Society of Hong Kong, with joint seminars with the Chinese Taipei organization. We'll be at the Longevity 20 conference in Singapore. We have some Vietnam professional development events. We'll be at the Asian Actuarial Conference in Bangkok later this year. So keep your eye out for great SOA Research Institute projects being presented there. I think the last set of things I wanted to get in here too is just, if you're an academic or if you are a researcher, what are some potential collaboration opportunities that we have? One of the things that you can do is routinely, maybe save this page or ping against it frequently or ask your AI tool to go out and look for it frequently. We have a request for proposals page on the SOA website where we're always populating it with new requests. You see some recent ones here. And we add to this probably two or three things every month that get added to this list. So this is the place where we're saying, hey, these are the topics that we want to study. If you as a researcher are interested in proposing on this, you can, follow the links here and submit a proposal for us to consider. Additionally, as well, we have what's called an emerging issues pool at the Society of Actuaries, where if you have new ideas about things that are on the cusp of entering the actuarial profession, or maybe new product ideas or new issues that society as a whole are facing when it comes to insurance or financial services or risk management, our research executive committee has a pool of dollars, and we're always looking to kind of fund some new projects along the way with those topics in mind. So if you search for this on the SOA website, the link is there. You'll see this emerging issues pool and an application that you can fill out to submit ideas to us. One thing I'll note, and this is really fresh off the press here today, that we're trying to get a little bit more, obviously, into artificial intelligence research, deep into that already, but then looking to partner with some universities who already have like a strong buildup of maybe artificial intelligence, either risk management or artificial intelligence tools that they're studying. We know that the actual profession is already gravitating to these types of tools to use in their day-to-day work. I mean, not a day goes by where I'm pulling up some large language model to help me, with my work that I'm doing. And I think the tendency there will be for those tools to get a little bit more quantitative over time rather than just large language models. The potential for large quantitative models and other tools are on the horizon. So we want to study more, what some leading edge academic research might be, and then turn that into some practical application papers. So, 2 or 3 years from now, the tools that are just being born of ideas today might become, the next GPT or other AI tools that everyone is using in the business world, and trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit with those next generation AI tools. So if you're interested in participating and creating a proposal for your university to participate with us on that, follow that link and look at the SOA website and we can talk more about it. As always, here's just some general good places to go. The website for the Research Institute. We've got a link here that always shows what's going on with new research. Feel free to connect with me or follow me on social media. Xiao's email address is here, or just even send something generally to our research@soa.org email address. We look at that continuously and try to get back to you pretty promptly with any questions that you may have along the way. So that's going to be our introduction of the SOA Research Institute. I'm going to stop share here and turn it over to Xiao, who will be giving an overview of this AI impact on insurance industries in Greater China. And then I'll come back here in a few minutes and talk a little bit more about our global demand for life and health insurance research. So, Xiao, going to flip it over to you and take it from here.
Yeah, thank you, Dale. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session. So in the SOA Research Institute, I report to Dale Hall, our Managing Director of Research, and I help Dale manage a couple of research projects in the Asian markets. So today, in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to give you a quick overview of our recent completed research projects, especially on AI. We all know the AI involvement is very, very quickly, rapidly developing in this area. So the research topic we're going to share today is AI impact on insurance industries in Greater China. So here's the agenda I'm going to follow. So I will give you a quick executive summary of the whole report, and I will give you a little bit of introduction on what motivates us completing this research study. And I also gave you a brief background of how the AI has evolved since the traditional classification machine learning area, and then to the large language model development, and also present the methodology used in this research project, and also deliver some quick results analysis, and also present some of the public resource source examples of the LLM applications, and then I'll draw the conclusion. So here's the executive summary. So you can see that AI has transformed a lot of the interest industries in Greater China area. So artificial intelligence, especially the large language models, is actually revolutionizing the insurance industry by enhancing a lot of different areas of applications, especially like in decision-making processes, and also have improved the operational efficiencies a lot. And I'm not sure how many of you have heard this term, narrow AI, before this AI project, before coming to this talk, of course. So before the large language models, we have definitely seen a lot of machine learning traditional applications, like like supervised machine learnings and unsupervised machine learnings. Now, because of the emergence of ChatGPT in late 2022, now some of the researchers, especially like AI scientists, have now defined the era before the ChatGPT is now the narrow AI era. So when we wrote this report, we actually have a little bit debate. Is that narrow AI is a little bit offensive term we use to refer the traditional machine learning applications and all these models. But we, at the end of the report, we actually think it's very good to let actuaries, especially that we are not the AI researchers or experts. We wanted to learn a little bit more on how the AI involvement is developing in the computer science, and also the AI scientists, like what they're thinking. So the insurance sector has seen a decade-long adoption of narrow AI, like traditional machine learning models, focusing on automation or for streamlined operations, and also some of the key surveys. So in this research project, we actually have a brilliant research team, included two awesome researchers. One is the insurance industry director, and the other one is a university professor. So they run some targeted survey in both academic and also industry. The surveys conducted reviewed some highlights that insurance companies and also academic institutions, and also what they're thinking and what's the current adoption in their applications, and what are the emerging trends and challenges in their AI integration. So we actually wanted to draw the conclusion that first is that AI will be a strategic asset for a lot of the insurance companies. And AI is actually transforming from a back office tool to a strategic asset. And it actually helps enhance the operational efficiency in the entire insurance sector. And we actually found like extremely high satisfaction level for people who have used or adopted AI in their day-to-day operations. So you can see that from our survey that 57 are like satisfied, like in general, and 19% of the respondents actually expressed very satisfied with the AI applications. And also in the short-term run, that we can see that insurers are focusing on some quick win applications, and they're actually adopting AI for developing these applications like customer service support, customer service automation, and agent support for immediate benefits. But actually in the mid or long-term run, you can see that the further goals that will integrate AI applications will be personalized insurance and some real-time risk evaluations, and also will be expanding to continuous underwriting using some advanced AI models as AI models become more applicable and more advanced. And so here are the three recommended strategies for how to integrate AI to the insurance applications. So the first is to try to develop some collaborative development, and strengthening the industry tech ecosystem through collaborations is very essential for the successful AI integration. And the other way is to have the vertical specific AI models. So investing in vertical specific AI models will allow the organizations, the companies, to capture unique insights specialized and setting them apart from the generic solutions. And the other aspect is, of course, the human AI collaboration. So the human AI collaboration frameworks is important to enable AI to manage some routine tasks, while human will, of course, exercise some oversight and compliance and also enhancing the productivity. So let me just quickly introduce what motivates us to conduct this research study. So the insurance industry is embracing AI technologies to streamline the day-to-day operations, also enhance customer experiences, and which also already making a significant shift from the in the traditional practices area. And also generative AI, which is say like a Gen AI in opposite of the narrow AI. So the emergence of generative AI like ChatGPT model has definitely transformed the capabilities of insurance company in all these different areas. I will definitely discuss a little bit further in details in the later slides, but like underwriting, claims processing, marketing, you can see that a lot of companies have already adopted generative AI in all these different areas of operations. And this report actually provides some insights comparing the AI adoption in the insurance industries of mainland China, Singapore, Australia, and highlighting some key trends and advancements. And the significance of study is, of course, as I said, like AI, this particular trend is rapidly developing. So I won't say that this study is actually a most comprehensive study, but it definitely provides a very timely, updated information on what's going on and what's the trending and what's the latest adoption in the insurance markets in Asia. So this study provides a snapshot of AI technology deployment in Greater China's dynamic insurance market, and we actually show some of the use case highlighting the innovative practices, and including Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia. So this enable us to do a comparison of talent and research pipelines in the insurance industry. And there's also an academic survey attached to this study. So this study documents the rapid diffusion of AI breakthroughs like ChatGPT into the insurance sector and local factors also influencing the adoption. So some of the background. So we know that the insurance industry has adopted traditional AI models like machine learning models already in some of the insurance operations. So China's insurance sector has already experienced significant digital transformation, integrating like mobile internet applications and all these AI technologies to try to enhance the operations even before the emergence of large language models. And the AI models has been used in fraud detection, to take a look at the credit data, like the customer data, and also risk assessment, improving the underwriting accuracy through the data analysis. And the AI customer engagement is also have been a long traditional way to adopt AI and machine learning models into the operations. So AI power solutions like Alpha Insurance provide some of the more personalized insurance advice and also enhance the customer interactions. There are also platforms like Alipay that they also streamline health insurance claims processing, improving efficiency, and also the customer service. And so you can see that AI has been widely adopted by 2020 already. So you can see that a wide range of AI applications like AI chatbots become essential, and also image recognitions have been very popular in the insurance companies as well. So image recognition technology streamlined automotive insurance claims by estimating the vehicle damage just based on the accident photos. And also RPA, which is robotic process automation, has also been utilized to automate back office tasks such as policy administration, compliance checks, and which actually increase the administration efficiency as well, and also technology adoption trends. So the survey data shows that AI adoption was highest in customer service, claims, and also marketing, and this provides some focal points for the further innovation. So the methodology, as we said in the research team, we have both the industry director and also academic professor. So the research team take a holistic approach, which basically start from the literature review. So the review focus on AI applications in Chinese insurance before the GEM models, the generative AI emerged, emphasizing the industry reports and some case studies publicly available. And also we collected the data from significant sources, including the annual reports, press release from the major Chinese insurance firms, and also AI use case in insurance, like qualitative information on AI use case, like robo-advisors or chatbots. And also the aim was to establish a baseline of narrow AI utilization in insurance prior to the emergence of generative AI technology. And the post-ChatGPT is also basically gathered from a lot of information publicly available. So you can see that we collected the public information on LLM applications in insurance since the emergence of ChatGPT. And the research team take a holistic approach to analyze the white papers and research articles, which basically provide additional insights into the feasibility and applications of Gen AI in insurance, and also document some of the use case from various sources, detailing the organization's applications to gather the results together, and also provide some regulatory considerations. So the survey design, as we said, like in this particular research project, we designed the survey particular for insurance industries, companies in China, in Greater China, the market. And also we conducted an additional academic institution surveys to try to gauge the AI engagement and any industry academic collaboration projects in the Asia Pacific area. And the survey received 21 valid responses from the distinct the companies in China, and also 18 academic institutions in not only in China, but also in mainland China, but also in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia. And also the research team compiled this information together and to provide a very comprehensive analysis. So here are the key results. We can see that we summarized the narrow AI applications before the emergence of ChatGPT. And you can see that AI has been already adopted in these 6 important pillars in the insurance operations. So customer service automation is definitely one key area, and also sales and marketing enhancement. So insurers have been long utilizing the AI to analyze the customer data, identify the leads, and personalize marketing strategies, and also underwriting and risk assessment like fraud detections, and also has been streamlined for insurance applications. And claims handling is another area that has been utilized and improved by AI a lot, like AI image recognition technology enhances the claims handlings. And then also, as we said, like fraud risk management, right? So AI models can detect anomalies in claims and enhancing the risk management and fraud detection. So in this survey, right, so because of the time, like we have limited time today, but we wanted to present you the key survey findings, like the LLM adoption in Chinese insurance companies. So you can see that a significant 62% of the companies we surveyed report have large language models applications online. So basically, you can see that the adoption rate is very, very fast, is very rapid. And also there is like 28.6% of people, actually, the company is saying they actually is in development, and also 10% is saying like in consideration. And you can see that 0% of the companies, so basically no company we surveyed saying no to LLM applications. So basically, yes, all of the company we surveyed, 100% have actually considered to develop or already adopted AI in their day-to-day operations. And 72% of insurers are collaborating with technology firms for large language model projects, and also showcasing a hybrid approach in development. And also over 90% of insurers prefer using DeepSeek for in-house development. You can see that also the insurance companies actually adopt an open source solution approach, and 24% of companies publicize their AI projects. So you can see that's why that you don't actually find a lot of public information available regarding the AI adoption. And also in our questions, we highlight the primary application areas for the large language models. So 95% of insurers prioritize internal support applications for LLMs. You can see that they wanted to emphasize and enhance their internal efficiency. And also customer service enhancement is also another important area that can be benefited with adoptions of LLM. And 67% of insurers use LLMs to improve the customer service. And also 57% of insurers are leveraging LLMs to empower sales and agents, streamline the communications and sales processes. So you can find the details on the left-hand side, the diagram. So this picture, you can see that 89% is basically using with marketing content generation. And another 52% indicating development of LLMs in underwriting and claim services. Also, another benefit is to improve the efficiency and help support the decision-making process. Even though that a lot of the companies are very satisfied with the current the AI and LLM adoptions, but they also highlighted some of the top challenges when adopting the AI and the LLM models. So the survey highlighted that data privacy and security and also infrastructure costs are the top three challenges when the company, especially the management team, deciding whether to implement the LLM models. And also the survey, because we know that 76, which 57 plus 19% of respondents expressed satisfaction with their company's LLM applications. But basically, a lot of respondents also noticed some significant issues, such as hallucinations. Basically, sometimes the large language models can produce or provide you some hallucinations, which meaning the information they provide you is not typically true. And also lack of regulations and also the company policies are cited as additional challenges when deciding whether wanted to implement the LLM models. And we also wanted to give you some of the public source examples of the LLM applications. So Ping An, which is one of the very largest insurance companies in China. So they already has a robust AI background, and they have been using AI to focus on medical imaging, natural language processing in healthcare, even before the rise of ChatGPT. And after the ChatGPT emergence in 2023, Ping An was also trying to integrate the large language models to assist insurance agents with policy information and also the agent training. And China Life also is currently collaborating with some tech partners, like some tech giant in China, like Baidu, and they're utilizing the ERNIE bot for internal pilots and AI solutions. So we can see that the trend of the AI and also the technology on insurance industry is very clear. So the entire insurance industry is rapidly adopting AI solutions from firms like Alibaba and Baidu. Both we cited here as the technology giants in China, and try to enhancing their customer service and also their underwriting process. So we wanted to bring you some additional insights and the information we gathered from the Asian markets as well. So generative AI in Hong Kong and Singapore. So insurers in Hong Kong are also adopting generative AI for customer service chatbots and also internal workflows improvement. And also basically one of key reasons is to enhance the operational efficiency. And the regulatory environment in Hong Kong is cautious, but yet supportive. So it is also considering the ethical AI use in the insurance sector. And Singapore's AI adoption is very rapid as well. So you can see that Singapore's insurers are implementing the AI solutions such as GPT-based assistance for call centers, which is also, of course, the key benefits is to improve efficiency and also the compliance. So we actually see a lot of insurtech companies are booming in Hong Kong and Singapore, these two markets. So you can see there is a growing trend of cross-pollination between the Hong Kong and Singapore's insurtech sectors. And these cross-border collaborations actually foster some additional innovation in the insurance sectors. So I wanted to highlight one of the key white paper we cited from Zhong'an. So you can see that Zhong'an was established back in 2013, and it's actually one of the first online-only insurance companies in China. So Zhong'an actually released a LLM AI-based paper, white paper in May 2023, and they also helped identify more than 30 use cases of how AI and LLM can help the insurance industry operations. So their white paper identified over 30 use cases for Gen AI. And also they highlight some short-term applications. So immediate applications like content creations for marketing purposes, and also intelligent customer service, and also AI assisted coding is also some of the short-term rapid adoptions and applications can be used in the insurance industry. And also, but in the midterm and long-term the overview. So personalized marketing is predicted to become a key differentiator for insurance AI strategies. So basically that the insurance, if they wanted to win this AI race, they definitely wanted to go further, which means that they need to incorporate AI and adopt these LLM models better integrated into provide like customized, personalized marketing and services. And also one of the key considerations and concerns that Zhong'an emphasized is the importance of accuracy, and especially for tasks with high oversight needs like legal and financial advices. So basically, like we all know that hallucination is one key challenge with the current LLM models. So ensuring the accuracy and compliance, especially when giving people advices like financial advices and dealing with the legal considerations is definitely another concern people need to be aware of. Some of the policy and regulatory moves we wanted to highlight here. So you can see that regulators are addressing data privacy challenges in AI governance through newly established rules for generative AI services. So this is more on the Gen AI services. So you can see that China and some of the adjacent markets have actually developed some of Data Privacy Act, but this is not actually targeted only on the insurance companies, but it's actually targeted only Gen AI services. And there are also some emerging and new regulations trying to provide a compliance framework for insurers, addressing the concerns of the regulatory gap in AI. And so Hong Kong's regulatory principles, which is cited here, is focusing on fairness, transparency, and accountability. So especially in the AI rapidly integrated to every day-to-day task of human beings. So ensuring the fairness, transparency, and also the accountability is very important to adopting AI and implementing AI and these large language models into your operations. And so basically, following these three principles can help mitigate bias and also improve the explainability in your models. So let me just quickly draw the conclusion here. So in this research report, we summarize that AI is rapidly transforming the insurance industry by enabling more efficient processes, enhance the operational efficiencies, and also potentially provided the personalized services for the customers. There are huge opportunities with AI adoptions and integrations with AI, with insurance operations, but also significant challenges are identified as well. So the integration of AI presents both opportunities for innovations and also the challenges in compliance and also the service delivery. So the strategic integration, right? So insurers must strategically implement these AI and large language models based solutions to enhance their offerings while adhering to the regulatory frameworks for long-term sustainability. So thank you for your time. And if you're interested to read more, and you can actually scan the QR code here, and you can find my contact information here. So now let me hand over back to Dale to give us a presentation on the global life and health insurance demand.
Sounds good. Just a terrific report on that, AI use in mainly in the mainland China market, but obviously, some insights into other markets there as well. So let me share here, one other project that we did, and we can kind of spin through this. It's one that we wanted to do on the global life and health insurance demand trends. This is a project that we partnered up with Remark, which is a marketing group of the SCORE Reinsurance Company. They've been doing these global surveys for a long time, and this year they wanted to focus in on life and health insurance demand and consumer behavior, especially as we'll see with a focus on like younger consumers, a younger generation of consumers. That's gonna drive insurance purchases for many, many decades in the future. So it was important to do that. The overview here is we wanted to examine propensity to buy life and health insurance. It was a joint research study. We went out and collectively did consumer research from 22 different countries, many of them in the Asia Pacific market, as we'll see, with the focus being on younger generations. So there was a huge emphasis on collecting information from consumers ages 18 through 42. Wanted to do a little bit of both quantitative and qualitative observations here, get a look into consumer behavior. And these are the markets that we went and studied, obviously around the world, 22 different markets. But as you see, many of them in the Asia Pacific region, and in fact, some oversampling in some of those regions. Some of these would categorize as established markets, and there's a few established markets for sure in the Asia Pacific region. But then we also know that there's also, some markets where GDP is growing fast and, huge growth in places like Malaysia and Indonesia and India and mainland China. And, as their insurance and financial services markets continue to grow. We collected a lot of demographic information from the consumers. So obviously where they lived, how old they were, what their sex or gender might be. But then, tried to get a little bit of a picture. So we asked them, what types of insurance do you currently have? Have you actually purchased recently insurance in the last couple of years? And we'll look at a couple of results that show what some tendencies are for recent insurance purchasers. We asked some demographic information about, their income levels and whether they were at work, whether they're married, whether they had children, residential status. We also focused a little bit on, we wanted to get a little bit deeper into what is their willingness to buy, this younger generation from online only insurers. How do they make these decisions about buying from a traditional kind of brick and mortar or old school type of insurer versus new ones that have come around? What were the importance of factors in the buying process? Some engagement with extended warranty offers. And then, lifestyle tends to be a little bit much of a driver for this current younger generation. Their focus on work-life balance, healthy living. We wanted to also collect some information on, how much they exercise, diet quality, lifestyle improvement. And especially too now, I'm wearing one right now, these wearable devices, whether it's a smartwatch or a fitness app or other wearables. Seems like that's becoming a growing trend. And are those indications as to how propensity to purchase or the demand for life and health insurance may play out? And the key macro results, we'll get a little bit deeper into some details, but definitely some high engagement insurance purchases across key Asian markets, actually compared to what the global averages are. Incredibly strong market penetration in Singapore and Taiwan. And there is a little bit of influence of technology here and wearable devices. Digital engagement and wearable devices are an amplifier of purchase likelihood. These consumers tend to prioritize their wearable tech and digital strategies as a consumer. And there are some strong predictors of insurance purchase, such as your marital status, obviously your employment category, your level of education, importantly too, how much you know about insurance, either personally or going to be educated on, can be a driver as well. So some quick stats. I mean, you see here for some of the Asia Pacific markets what what the purchase tendencies are, the propensity to hold any type of mortality protection product, a health product, or an accidental death or dismemberment product. A little bit higher than average in these Asia Pacific markets than what we see globally. Obviously, some of the health and AD&D are a little bit of a function of how health insurance works in those markets, whether it's more of a social insurance atmosphere or what other like societal coverages are provided. Here's the role of technology and wearable devices. I mean, we walked through and asked this group. In fact, these are some of the drivers of people who have purchased these types of insurance in the last couple years. So it certainly indicates, the individuals, for example, we did a regression analysis or a predictive analytics analysis that says individuals with a high level of insurance knowledge are the most likely to have recently purchased insurance. Very, very highly, a driver there, as you see from the statistics. It kind of indicates that educating potential consumers about insurance benefits is a crucial strategy for insurers. Also noting that if they, have experience through a claim history of any type of insurance, that is a strong indicator of people who have recently purchased insurance. Maybe they see the value in the health insurance or motor insurance or other things and note the financial security protection that is there. So insurance knowledge was the most significant indicator or predictor of recent purchases, followed by claims history. But maybe even surprisingly here, wearable device usage had a strong influence, kind of highlighting the role of health technology as it grows for this consumer base. I'll note as well, a little bit of graphic here on wearables where that illustrates the significant impact of a wearable device usage and life and health insurance knowledge and the likelihood of purchasing insurance. Recently, a little bit of cluster analysis here. It's showing, where those answers were coming up, whether you had a wearable, and on the right-hand axis, the life and health insurance knowledge. So some insights there where maybe more insurers are contemplating promoting wearable technology, or they're going to target health conscious or tech savvy consumers to increase policy uptake in the future. And similarly, this shows the influence of wearable device usage on the likelihood of recent insurance purchases, kind of categorized by consumer preferences for purchasing across different channels. So users of wearable devices who prefer online or cost-effective channels kind of show the highest likelihood of having a recent insurance purchase. And a little bit of insights here as to, is it the price or convenience or things like that that may be drivers. So a lot of good information that came out of that study. Definitely some, we studied if these are for people who had any type of purchase of a product at any point in time, they were current insurance holders. And again, noting that insurance knowledge, that strong coefficient there had a very positive influence on insurance purchases. Employed individuals certainly more likely to purchase insurance. I think that goes, with the concept of, having a need for more financial security with your income level, your marital status, your residential status, education levels. Some of those are kind of cross proxies for each other, but all of those were strong indications of the people who purchase insurance, have these different these are the different drivers of their insurance purchase behavior. We noted as well across these different ages, insurance purchase does kind of increase by age. I think we're noting as well that there's actually the strongest increase in these insurance purchase percentages once you get to like between ages 18 and 30. So, strong focus there. It does tend to level out a little bit as you get age 30, 35, and 40 and above, but some helpful information there. And then again, the survey inquired about self-reported knowledge levels for life and health insurance, categorize those responses into these different brackets, and you see, those with very good knowledge have a high propensity of ownership. Online preferences here is interesting to look at. There was, some indication that online preferences would be there if there was, a price difference or if convenience were to play. And finally, kind of we'll leave with four global key observations in the next two slides. Individuals with a greater knowledge of insurance products, particularly if they were married or owned property, definitely more likely to purchase life and health insurance. Employment status was a significant influence there. So employed or semi-employed individuals, much higher propensity to purchase. Urban residents, especially those who maybe own property or have a mortgage, have a higher likelihood of having a recent insurance purchase. I guess that underscores the impact of, financial stability, financial security needed there. And the use of health applications definitely correlated with insurance purchase, especially among middle-aged consumers. So that concept of digital health engagement certainly seemed to enhance the perceived value and relevance of the insurance coverage. So some conclusions, some strategic insights for Asian market insurers. A lot of opportunity here. Insurers that leverage, consumer lifestyles or technology will seem to have a higher likelihood of success. And again, at the bottom, investing in consumer education to kind of bridge those knowledge gaps seem to have a way to enhance policy uptake. So again, this is the QR code for, that particular report if you want to go into deeper detail. And then I think we're just to, the last 5, 10 minutes here, a little bit of Q&A. We put back up here, some key websites or some key connection points for you. I think I'm going to try to double back as well to see if we have any Q&A. I may actually do a stop share on the screen here just so I can get back to a little bit of Q&A. So Xiao, if you want to come back to the screen, I know we might have had a suggestion or a product. There's one request to go back to the research QR code. So let me pull that up one more time for just a brief second here. So here's the landing page. I think that's now on the screen again for the global life health demand project that we covered. So if you want to take a snapshot of that, or take a look at that, or pretty easy to Google or to go to a GPT and say, give me the insights, point me in the direction of the SOA research report on global life and health insurance demand. Shall I know, there was, some Q&A that I saw earlier. Sounds like some of them might have been covered. You were covering in the Q&A like this concept of, AI applications and data security. I don't know if there's anything else more than what you typed into the responses here that you wanted to hit on. Anything in addition to the answer in the Q&A to hit on where, how data security is considered by insurers when they're using AI applications?
Yes, I don't think there's like valuation specific application now has been uncovered in the survey. But I
Um,
think a lot of people, a lot of company responses would be that pricing application would be considering as a more advanced AI and LLM applications, integration and adoption, like implementing that required a more advanced testing and security and all these different adoption models rather than like customer service and also marketing mature generations and these. So we actually highlight pricing as a more advanced application can be incorporating AI and LLM models in the future. I'm pretty sure valuation will be an extension as well. But the current status that is only have been widely adopted in these key operation areas like claim processing, internal operations, and so on. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's helpful as well. I mean, we do an emerging risk survey, and clearly, as AI has come around, and even just data analytics has come around, you know, the actuaries and risk managers constantly are noting like disruptive technology as a major emerging risk and cybersecurity as a major emerging risk, like always in the back of our mind. How are we making sure that even as the question was asking, that we're not releasing personal data out into the internet for the whole world to pick up on. Many organizations are using what I'll call like enterprise versions of these tools where they can ask different questions and have it perform different routines, and it is leveraging off the GPT or other types of AI tools, yet it's retaining that information all within kind of the collective security of the organization rather than it being a query out to just the general world or the general internet where everything could be out there. So there's been a lot of growth in the use of AI technology, but at the same time, there's been a lot of focus on making sure cybersecurity comes along with those AI tools. We're right at the top of the hour. I see there were some other questions that Xiao you were chiming in on, probably while I was presenting or clarifying there. I just want to note again to everyone, hey, thanks for joining us for this virtual open house, highlighting some of our Research Institute work and really just trying to make sure that members of the SOA are aware of what we're doing. And if you have any great ideas that you'd like to share, certainly an email to research@soa.org or connecting with us on social media or LinkedIn are good ways to do that. So appreciate everyone participating. As noted, we'll get the recordings of this out in different shapes or forms, YouTube channel, social media, so you can come back and see some of the details. But Xiao, thanks for participating with me on this. Thanks for the whole Asia Pacific group for organizing this, and thanks for everyone for stopping by and checking in with us today. Hope you
Thank you,
enjoy the rest
everyone.
of the day.
Yeah, have a nice weekend. Thank you.
Thanks.